Welcome to a brand new season of Law and Batting Order. As always, I'm your host, Tony Iliakostas. Let me start off by thanking all of you for your patience during these past few weeks. Finals ended successfully, and as you can tell, I got in a good tan during my vacation. While it's been a long 6 weeks, it's great to be back in this chair delivering sports law news and topics to you all. I just wanted to make 2 notes. The first is that, as you can tell, the background has changed on the Law and Batting Order set. I finally got a fathead decal just to give the room a little more flair. But the biggest change, of course, is that Law and Batting Order will from here on out be filmed in 1080p, so crisper video quality will be coming right at you, whether you're watching on your laptop or mobile device. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Here are some quick hits from the past week. You don't mess with the Johan, or better yet, Nohan. In the words of Mets announcer Gary Cohen, it has happened. After 51 seasons and over 8,000 games, the Mets finally recorded their first no-hitter in franchise history thanks to their ace, Johan Santana. The closest that the Mets had ever had to a no-hitter was in 1969 when Tom Seaver had a perfect game that was broken up in the 9th inning. Logic was defied, however, on Friday, June 1st, 2012. For Johan, this was quite the thrill, given that he had reconstructive shoulder surgery in 2010 and was absent all of the 2011 season. And of course, for Mets fans like myself, witnessing a no-hitter made this experience a very memorable one. So Johan, if you're watching this episode, on behalf of all Mets fans and baseball fans around the world, congratulations on this historic baseball feat. Moving on to basketball, we are getting in the thick of the NBA Conference Finals. In the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat is facing the Boston Celtics. While the Heat is leading the series 2-1, the Celtics are quietly making noise and will prove to be an obstacle during this matchup. Meanwhile, in the Western Conference Finals, the San Antonio Spurs are squaring off against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The series is currently tied at 2 apiece, and OKC has become a huge offensive threat during Games 3 and 4. Their gameplay will make this series a very difficult one for the Spurs. Whoever wins each respective matchup will advance to the NBA Finals. Sticking to playoff games, over in the NHL, the New Jersey Devils are facing the 8th-seeded Los Angeles Kings in this year's Stanley Cup Finals. New Jersey put a real bruising on the New York Rangers during the Eastern Conference Finals, while the Kings surprisingly maintained a 12-2 playoff record up to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Kings currently have a 2-0 lead over the Devils, and it wouldn't be surprising if they maintain their path to victory. Today's Order in the Court will be discussing the recent lawsuit that the NFL Players Association filed against the NFL regarding a secret salary cap that the league imposed on teams during the 2010 year. Approximately a week ago, the NFL Players Association in the Minnesota District Court petitioned the court to reopen the Reggie White versus National Football League case and enforce the stipulation and settlement agreement that was made as a result of the case. In the Reggie White case, the NFL and NFLPA agreed that upon the final year of the collective bargaining agreement, there would be no salary cap. This effectively means that teams can spend as much money as they'd like on players who they would sign in the offseason. However, as enumerated in the complaint, the NFLPA contends that the NFL and certain teams abided by a secret $123 million salary cap during the 2010 season, the last season under the old CBA. This came to fruition as it was revealed that 4 NFL teams, specifically the Cowboys, Redskins, Raiders, and Saints, would be suffering penalties for not abiding by the secret salary cap limit that was imposed in 2010. The NFLPA is arguing that the NFL is in direct violation of the stipulation and settlement agreement which has brought this case. While I am not knowledgeable to the fullest extent in labor law, I'll break down the complaint in the simplest fashion and talk about the offenses of collusion and conspiracy that the NFLPA is asserting against the NFL. First, let's define collusion. According to Black's Law Dictionary, collusion is legally defined as an agreement to defraud another or to do or obtain something forbidden by law. In the context of this matter, sports law guru Michael McCann defines collusion the best in this context. Collusion occurs when 2 or more teams, or the league and at least one team, is acting in concert to deprive players of collectively bargained rights. Likewise, Black's Law Dictionary defines conspiracy as an agreement by 2 or more persons to commit an unlawful act coupled with an intent to achieve the agreement's objective, and in most states, action or conduct that furthers the agreement, a combination for an unlawful purpose. In this complaint, the NFLPA is asserting collusion and conspiracy under several sections listed in the stipulation and settlement agreement between the NFL and the Players Association. First, the NFLPA contends that under Article 8A of the SSA regarding anti-collusion, no club, its employees, or agents shall enter into any agreement, express or implied, with the NFL or any other club to restrict or limit individual club decision-making with regards to whether or not to negotiate with a player. Additionally, the association states that under Article 15, Section 2, neither the parties hereto nor any club or player shall enter into an agreement to serve the purpose of defeating or circumventing the intention of the parties reflected by aspects of the agreement related to total revenues, salary cap, entering player pool, and minimum team salary. Finally, under Article 19, Section 6, defendants each pledge their best efforts and cooperation to implement the provisions of the collective bargaining agreement in a manner consistent with good faith and fair dealing. The NFLPA is arguing that by creating a secret salary cap in 2010, the NFL is in violation of the SSA. To place a $123 million cap on each NFL team at face value is in violation of Article 8A alone. The secret cap restricted teams from signing players of their choice, and the Players Association is arguing that the NFL conspired to impose this salary cap despite the agreement stating otherwise. According to the NFLPA, this is deemed an act of collusion in this context. The agreement, according to the NFLPA, was also not done in good faith. The good faith clause in the SSA is governed under New York law. According to the Reggie White case, good faith connotes an actual state of mind motivated by proper motive and encompasses, among other things, an honest belief, the absence of malice, and the absence of a design to defraud or to seek an unconscionable advantage. In addition, good faith requires that neither party shall do anything which will have the effect of destroying or injuring the right of the other party to receive the fruits of the contract. In essence, it is up to the NFLPA to argue that the NFL did not act in good faith when this SSA was signed. This hints at some contract law issues, perhaps breach of contract. There is a lot of dense material in this case, and there are a lot of questions regarding whether or not the NFLPA has a valid case against the NFL in this matter. Perhaps the bigger question is whether or not there is still a rocky relationship between the Players Union and the NFL. Whatever the case may be, this collusion lawsuit will be worth following as time progresses. That's the show. As always, leave all your comments down below, and be sure to visit Law and Batting Order at lawandbattingorder.com, as well as on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, have a great week, guys.